Far beyond the stars, in a galaxy older than time itself, there was a place where silence meant danger. This was the central command of the Velaran Collective, one of the most advanced civilizations ever known. For thousands of years, the Velarans had watched the universe grow. They had seen planets rise and fall, species born and erased. Nothing surprised them anymore. Every world in the galaxy was marked with a simple code. Green for harmless, yellow for developing, red for dangerous, and black for worlds that must never be touched again. On this day, the command hall was calm. Screens floated in the air, showing star maps and data streams. Officers moved slowly, confident and relaxed. It was just another quiet cycle. Then a signal appeared. It came from an empty sector of space, a place no one cared to watch anymore. A small blue dot blinked on the largest screen. At first, no one reacted. An analyst stepped closer and adjusted the data. "This system was scanned before," he said softly. "There was nothing important there." The system zoomed in. A yellow star. 8 planets. One small blue world. The moment the planet came into focus, the room changed. The soft hum of machines stopped. Voices faded. Even breathing slowed. The data scrolling beside the planet began to turn red, then dark. Atmosphere confirmed. Liquid water confirmed. Life confirmed. Still, none of this caused fear. Life was common. Primitive worlds were everywhere. But then history files opened on their own. Old records, sealed for ages. Records that were never meant to be accessed again. A senior commander stepped forward, his eyes fixed on the screen. His voice was low, almost careful. "Show behavioral patterns," he said. Images began to play. Not cities. Not technology. But conflict. The screen showed creatures fighting each other. Small, fragile beings with no armor and weak bodies. They used fire, stone, and metal. They fell, they bled, they died. Yet they stood back up. The footage sped up. Wars followed wars. Loss followed loss. Still, the species did not vanish. One officer whispered, "They should be extinct." The commander did not answer. He raised a hand, and more data appeared. Disasters. Floods. Fires. Plagues. The planet tried to kill them again and again. But each time, they adapted. They learned. They survived. Another officer stepped back slowly. "These beings fight each other," she said. "Yes," the commander replied. "But look closer." The screen changed again. Now it showed unity. Strangers standing together. Weak bodies shielding weaker ones. Sacrifice without command. "They protect their own," the commander said. "Even when logic says they should not." The room grew colder. Not from temperature, but from understanding. The system highlighted a name. Earth. Species classification. Human. A junior analyst broke the silence. "They are not advanced," he said. "No faster travel, no galactic weapons." The commander turned slowly. "And yet," he said, "they are still here." Another alert flashed. The classification system paused, unable to assign a code. Green was wrong. Yellow was a lie. Red was not enough. A long moment passed. Then the commander spoke words no one expected. "Do not send a signal." The room reacted instantly. Eyes widened. Hands froze. "But sir," an officer began, "we always announce first contact." "Not this time," the commander said. "This world does not need a reason to fight." The blue planet continued to rotate slowly on the screen, calm and peaceful. It looked harmless. Almost beautiful. That made it worse. The commander opened one final file. Marked forbidden. The title alone caused several officers to turn away. It read, "Species with unlimited response potential." As the file unlocked, the lights dimmed. The screen filled with a single warning. "If provoked, this species will not stop." The galaxy had faced many monsters before. But this one did not know it was a monster. And that was what made Earth truly dangerous. The command hall remained silent. Not out of fear, but out of respect. Somewhere far away, on a small blue planet, humans looked up at the stars, unaware that the entire galaxy had just decided to stop watching them. And the silence had only just begun. The silence did not stay inside the Velaran command hall for long. Across the galaxy, hidden relays began to activate on their own. Ancient systems that only responded to one kind of discovery. A discovery that could change everything. On distant worlds, leaders of powerful civilizations paused their daily routines. Screens lit up with the same image. A small blue planet, marked with no code. That alone was enough to cause fear. In the Zarth Dominion, warriors who had conquered hundreds of systems stood still. Their leader stared at the image and slowly lowered his weapons. "Confirm this data," he ordered. In the Lumine Order, beings made of pure energy dimmed their own light. They searched old memories, trying to remember where they had seen this before. Everywhere, the result was the same. Old records began to unlock. Warnings long buried started to surface. The name appeared again and again. Earth. Back in the Velaran command hall, the council gathered. No speeches. No pride. Only careful words. "We should erase all paths leading to this system," one member said. "Total isolation." Another replied, "Isolation can look like fear." The commander remained silent, watching new data flow in. Reports showed humans had reached their own moon, sent machines to nearby planets, listened to the stars with simple tools. "They are blind," a council member said. "They do not know we exist." The commander nodded slowly. "And that is why this moment matters." Far away, beyond Velaran space, a young alien named Sale listened in silence. Sale was not a soldier, not a leader, just a deep space observer. But Sale had spent cycles studying developing worlds. And something about Earth felt wrong. Too calm, too noisy, too alive. "They fight each other," Sale whispered, reviewing the data. "Why would such a species survive?" Against protocol, Sale opened a private channel. A small probe, no weapons, no message, just eyes. "This is observation only," Sale told himself. "No contact." The probe slipped into folded space. Invisible. Silent. Back at Earth, night covered half the planet. Cities glowed like scattered stars on the surface. Signals filled the air. Music. Voices. Arguments. Hope. The probe watched. It saw humans laugh. It saw them cry. It saw them destroy and rebuild. What confused the probe most was not their violence. It was their calm. Humans argued under the same sky that could kill them. They planned futures while knowing they might not live to see them. The probe sent data back. Species displays awareness of death. Species continues forward anyway. Sale's hands trembled as the message returned. This was not normal. Suddenly, alarms flashed on the probe. Earth had noticed something. Human systems adjusted. Radars shifted. Signals focused. "They see me," Sale whispered, shocked. But there was no panic. No weapons launched. No warning broadcast. Instead, Earth signals changed pattern. Slower. Clearer. "They are trying to understand," Sale realized. Back in the Velaran command hall, alerts exploded across every screen. "The probe has been detected," an officer shouted. The commander's eyes widened. "So fast," he said quietly. Then, without warning, the probe went dark. No explosion. No debris. Just silence. Sale screamed as the connection vanished. "I did not send a signal. I did not attack." The council froze. "They destroyed it," someone said. The commander shook his head slowly. "No," he replied. "They chose to remove an unknown." The difference mattered. Across the galaxy, one truth spread faster than fear. Humans did not panic. Humans did not hesitate. Humans did not ask permission. They acted. The commander closed his eyes. "This is why we stay silent," he said. "They are still learning. If we speak too soon," he continued, "they will listen. And once they listen, they will look back." Far below, on Earth, humans returned to their lives, unaware that they had just passed a test they never knew existed. The galaxy did not see Earth as weak anymore. It saw Earth as awake. And awakening things were the most dangerous of all. The loss of the probe did not bring panic. It brought something worse. Careful thinking. Across the Velaran command hall, no one spoke. The silence now felt heavy, like a warning. "They did not chase it," one analyst finally said. "They did not respond with anger." The commander nodded. "They removed it," he said, "like clearing dust from a window." That thought spread unease through the room. On distant worlds, the same report arrived. Earth had detected unknown technology. Earth had acted without fear. Earth had returned to normal life. This behavior confused every known model. Most species reacted with worship, or terror, or violence. Humans reacted with control. In the archives of the Lumine Order, an ancient memory awakened. A memory not recorded in data, but in warning. Long ago, another species had shown the same pattern. Curious, brave, unwilling to kneel. That species no longer existed. The reason was simple. They were attacked too early. Back at Earth, the skies were quiet. Satellites continued their paths. People slept, worked, argued, dreamed. Yet deep under the surface, humans were thinking. Small groups of scientists studied strange readings. Signals that should not exist. Objects that appeared and vanished. They shared information carefully. No public fear. No loud announcement. Humans had learned long ago that panic solved nothing. One scientist looked at the data and whispered, "We are not alone." But he did not say it with fear. He said it with focus. Above the planet, in hidden observation space, ancient sensors watched closely. The galaxy held its breath. "They are preparing," a council member said. "For defense." "No," the commander replied. "For understanding." That was more dangerous. A new file opened on the main screen. Not forbidden, but forgotten. It was labeled simply, "Human Pattern." The data showed something rare. Humans did not follow straight paths. They failed. They learned. They changed. Every mistake made them better. "They do not repeat fear," the commander said. "They repeat solutions." On a distant war world, a ruler slammed his claw into stone. "Then we strike before they rise," he growled. The message reached Velaran space instantly. The response was immediate. "No one attacks Earth," the commander ordered. "Why protect them?" the ruler demanded. "We are not protecting them," the commander replied. "We are protecting ourselves." The truth spread quietly. If humans were attacked, they would not forget. They would not forgive. Back on Earth, a strange event occurred. A small object entered the atmosphere, burned brightly, then vanished. Humans saw it, recorded it, shared it. Within hours, theories formed. Within days, plans followed. "They are fast," one observer whispered. "Yes," another replied. "And they have not even reached the stars yet." In the Velaran hall, the commander stood alone before the blue planet. "So young," he said softly, "and already dangerous." A council member approached. "What if they find us first?" The commander did not answer immediately. He watched Earth rotate. Storms forming. Cities glowing. "They will," he said finally. "It is not a question of if." The galaxy was quiet now. No signals. No probes. No whispers. Silence had become a shield. But silence could not last forever. Deep within Earth's data networks, patterns were forming. Questions without answers. Curiosity without limits. Humans were not afraid of the dark. They were afraid of ignorance. And ignorance never survived humans for long. Far away, ancient beings watched the blue world and understood the truth too late. Earth was not waiting to be discovered. Earth was preparing to discover. And when humans finally looked back at the galaxy, the silence would no longer protect anyone. The galaxy did not sleep after that realization. Ancient civilizations that had ruled for millions of years began to change small things. Star routes were altered. Defense lines were pulled back. Observation systems were shut down. All because of one quiet planet. In the Velaran command hall, the blue world no longer looked small. It filled the main screen. Not because it grew, but because fear had shrunk everything else. They are building faster probes, an analyst reported. Still primitive, another added. But improving. The commander watched silently. Humans were testing. Failing. Fixing. Each failure made them sharper. They are not copying us, the commander said. They are becoming themselves. That worried the council more than any weapon. On a distant border world, a powerful alliance met in secret. Their leaders spoke with anger. If we erase Earth now, this ends, one said. Another replied, or it begins. Old wars were remembered. Wars started with the same thinking. Strike first. Regret later. Back on Earth, something new happened. A global meeting took place. Not announced loudly. Not shared publicly. Humans from different nations sat together. Not as enemies, but as a species. Strange signals were discussed. Objects without origin. Data without source. One voice said what others were thinking. If someone is watching us, we should be ready. But ready did not mean attack. Ready meant understanding. That choice surprised the watchers. They should fear us, one alien observer said. They fear ignorance more, another replied. In Velaran space, a final archive was opened. The oldest one. It showed a pattern repeated across time. Young species that learned fast, faced danger, and were either destroyed or became unstoppable. Humans fit the pattern too well. They will reach the stars, the commander said. Sooner than expected. A council member asked the hardest question. What happens when they learn we stayed silent? The commander answered honestly. They will understand. That was the most dangerous answer of all. Understanding meant growth. Growth meant questions. Questions meant expansion. On Earth, telescopes improved. Signals were sent deeper. Not as messages, but as listening tools. Humans were not calling out. They were mapping the dark. One night, a signal returned something strange. Not a reply, but an absence. Large areas of space were quiet. Too quiet. Human scientists noticed. Space should hum with noise. Yet it did not. Something was missing. The universe is hiding, one of them said softly. Above them, the galaxy froze. They are noticing the silence, an alien whispered. In the Velaran hall, the commander closed his eyes. This was always the moment, he said. The decision could no longer be delayed. Do nothing, and humans would find answers on their own. Do something, and humans would remember it forever. The council voted in silence. Not to attack. Not to reveal. But to retreat. Every observation post near Earth was shut down. Every hidden watcher pulled back. The galaxy stepped away from the blue planet. Not because it was weak, but because it was becoming strong. On Earth, the strange quiet remained. But humans did not stop. They built. They studied. They wondered. They did not know the galaxy had made a choice. But they felt something was waiting. Far away, ancient beings understood the final truth. Silence was no longer hiding Earth from the galaxy. Silence was hiding the galaxy from Earth. And that silence was starting to crack. The silence finally broke. Not with sound, but with movement. On Earth, humans took their next small step into the dark. A new deep space array came online. More sensitive than anything before. It did not send messages. It listened. 4 days, it found nothing. Just empty space. Cold stars. Then something changed. The silence was not random. It had shape. Pattern. Human scientists stared at the data in quiet shock. This is not natural, one of them said. Space does not avoid itself. The idea spread slowly. The universe was not empty. It was quiet on purpose. Far away, alarms lit up ancient halls across the galaxy. They found the gap, an observer whispered. In the Velaran command hall, the commander stood still. They reached it faster than predicted, he said. No one celebrated. No one panicked. They had always known this moment would come. On Earth, leaders were informed. Not with fear, but with calm. Humans had faced unknowns before. Oceans. Skies. Their own planet. This changes nothing, one human leader said. We keep going. That simple decision echoed across the stars. The galaxy listened. They are not asking permission, a council member said. They never did, the commander replied. Another civilization sent a nervous request. What if they reach us? The answer was quiet but clear. Then we will meet them. Not as gods. Not as masters. But as neighbors. On Earth, a message was prepared. Not a greeting. Not a warning. Just a statement. It was simple. We are here. It was never sent. Humans decided to wait. To learn more. To be ready. That choice confused the galaxy most of all. They could shout, one alien said. They could challenge. They choose patience, another replied. The commander watched Earth one last time. Storms still formed. Cities still glowed. People still lived small lives under a big sky. They do not know they changed everything, he said. A final vote was taken across the galaxy. Not to hide. Not to flee. But to prepare. Ancient treaties were rewritten. Old defenses were reactivated. Not against humans. But for the future. Because one truth was now clear. Humans would reach the stars. Not with fear. Not with worship. But with curiosity. And curiosity could not be stopped. On Earth, a child looked up at the night sky. Seeing only stars. Dreaming of what might be out there. That dream was stronger than any weapon. In the deepest archives of the galaxy, Earth received its final classification. Not red. Not black. A new code was created. Awakening species. Below it, a warning. Do not provoke. Do not rush. Do not underestimate. The galaxy did not fall silent because it feared humans. It fell silent because it respected what humans could become. Earth was not discovered. Earth announced itself without speaking. And when humans finally step into the wider universe, they will not ask why the galaxy was quiet. The galaxy will already know the answer. Because silence was never weakness. It was preparation. And humanity was just getting started.